We're entering into conversation which not many people talk about.
You will make mistakes in life, but it's learning from them. My dad was growing up like in and out of prison. Sorry. I'm a little bit angry at the situation, and he didn't see me win a World Cup. He hasn't seen me become a parent.
Can we talk about all of that?
That's one subject I love talking about. We laid in bed yesterday and I said like someone very special like helped us make you. I think love wins over all of everything, whether same-sex relationship or not.
Marlie, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
It's great to be back here at Twickenham. I mean, it's a place where you've got so many fond memories, I guess.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's just the grass, it's just perfect. Like, there's something about running out at Twickenham, your hair stand on the back of your neck, and yeah, it's just very special.
Well, on that topic of special, like, where does rugby fit into your life? How did you come into the sport? What does the game mean to you?
Everything, to be fair, like, and that's like when you say everything, because like people say, well, really? But for me, I feel like life growing up, like I probably had like 2 roads, and I'd say rugby kept me going the way that I am to now. And I'll always be grateful for the game.
Okay, well, you said you had 2 roads. You've obviously taken the rugby route, which is paid dividends.
Yeah.
What was that other road? What would that have looked like?
Who knows? Who knows? No, I don't know. Like, I generally don't know what would have happened down the line, but all I know that the better option and the option that I took was the right one for me. Yeah, and I'm grateful for the game, and I think my family, what it's given to my family. Like my mum was a single mum growing up, and all the work, like parents today, like taking their child to I didn't just play rugby, I played football, I played after school clubs. For her to get me to one other, and like my brother as well, like take my hat off to her. So I've got a little boy at home now, and like we take him to swim club and music class, but actually it's a lot harder than you think. And so yeah, no, for her to everything she'd done for me, yeah. And then in 2014 to go out and win that World Cup was like a little bit for my family, not just myself.
Yeah, because when you run out, sing the national anthem, you are stood there in place of everyone that's put work into you, believed in you, driven you to games, training and everything else. So take us back to 2014 as an experience to win that World Cup, and you've mentioned your mother and the impact she's had on your life. That must have been not just an amazing day for yourself and for the country, but for your mum.
Oh yeah, like the proudest day of her life. She still talks about it now, and I think it's quite funny because we were over at the Stoop. We watched the 2010 World Cup, and I must have been like early 20s then, and I kind of like was like, next World Cup I'm going to be there and we're going to win it. And I always remember Sarah Hunter walking over and tears down her face and cuddled her mum at that time, and then to go out there and do the job in 2014, and the way we did it as well, when we beat Ireland in that semi-final.
Large into that midfield, there's so many options, and Burford goes for the chip ahead. Who's going to be the first to dive on it? It's Marlie Packer.
That final whistle went, and you just knew it was a special team. There was just something about that team. It didn't matter who we faced in the final, we were going to win it. Everybody was in a really good place. This was before professional rugby for women was about. Sevens contracts were flying about at that time, but that was nothing to do with 15. So actually the players that were in that squad, like this wasn't their job.
Yeah.
Like this was their hobby. It's something they loved doing and real passionate about. Whereas we had vets, we had police officers, myself plumber, like we had like scars working on the farm, teachers, like that. There was so many different kind of people in that group, but actually all for one goal. And that was to win that World Cup. Do
you think winning that World Cup in 2014 accelerated the progress to professionalism as we see it now today?
Oh, I think it definitely helped. I think like you've seen so many more girls get involved with rugby. It's been a long time coming, and I think and it's been a situation where it's gone up and down, but actually now there's one route and that's up.
England are the world champions of 2014.
You're a World Cup winner. You won back-to-back Alex Women 15s finals. I think it's fair to say that you're a role model. But to be a role model, you need a role model. And that role model, I guess, for you was your mum.
Yes.
Tell us the impact she's had on you and what she means to you.
Oh, Okay, you're really making me emotional here. No, so my role model, yeah, definitely my mum and my granddad. I think those two are key figures in my life. Single mum, probably. She goes through it tough sometimes. Sometimes luck's not on her side, I would say. But she shipped me from one training session, football on a Saturday, to rugby on a Sunday morning, and she never said no, kind of thing. I think for me it was having to make that choice between rugby and football. And still, my old football coach back in Yeovil goes, "Oh, I still think you could have made it if you stayed with football." And I'm like, "Nah, like maybe, but I don't think so."
As a mother yourself now, you know what it's like to have solid foundations, and you want to be the best parent you can be for Oliver. But when you speak about your mum, your brother, your granddad flying over, you've not mentioned your dad. What kind of relationship did you have with your dad growing up, and how do you think that relationship and your mother, I guess, playing both roles, has had an impact on you as a player and as a person, as a parent now?
My dad, for me, growing up, was like, he was never really properly in my life, in and out. Like, I can remember coming into like my late teens, I actually started spending quite a lot of time with him. Now I look back on it, it was not good for me. It was more of a bad influence on me in life. And that's when I say in those two roles, like my dad was growing up like in and out of prison. It wasn't until I'm older, actually, no, I don't need you in my life. You don't help me. Like, if anything, like, I've helped you for like those later years when I started spending more time with him. And then in going into that 2014 World Cup, he died probably 12 weeks out from it. I miss him, and I do think about him, of course I do, but I'm angry because I feel like, for me, I would never choose anything else but to be there for Oliver. Like, spend time with him, take him swimming. Like, obviously when I can, rugby obviously has a big choice on it, but like to spend time with him, to see him grow. Like, sometimes I watch him sleep and I'm just like, oh, I just want to pick him up and, do you know what I mean? Yeah. I just don't understand how someone couldn't be like that with me, and that's how. So now I feel like with my dad, it's like I'm a little bit angry at the situation because I'm now a parent, and he didn't see me win a World Cup. He hasn't seen me become a parent, and I think that mixed in with stuff like makes me angry, but then at the same time, that was his life choices, not mine.
Can we talk about Oliver?
Yeah, of course we can. I love it. That's one subject I love talking about.
Because you had Oliver's, it's September 2020.
Yes.
Which is just amazing. As a parent myself, it is.
Yeah.
In terms of achievements, winning World Cups and everything, that's great.
Yeah.
Being a parent,
it's something else.
It is something else. But I guess my route to becoming a father is very different to yours. You're in the same-sex relationship. How did you make the decision as to who was going to give birth to Oliver in this first place? Because we're entering into conversation which not many people talk about. No,
and I think it is good to talk about. Like, my partner would say, Marlie, don't talk too much though, because I love talking about it. But like, I think when I met her, she like always aware, like made it aware, like she does want kids one day, which should, like, I was always like, yeah, one day, but I'm not quite ready for it yet. Rugby.
Is that because you're focused when you're playing, because it is a short career and you want to achieve everything you want to achieve? That trumps everything. Yeah, well, trumps family, trumps everything.
Yeah, I like the amount of birthdays, Mothering Sundays, everything you miss because you got rugby. Like, rugby is everything. I picked that first before anything. Whereas actually since September, that has actually very much changed. Yeah. Whereas rugby's still there, like, but it's number two.
Of course,
Oliver is obviously my one priority. I always said that I wanted to. My career is my career. I haven't got long with it, as in it's such a short span. So, like, after that like, I'd be ready to have a kid, like, carry myself. But I was like, if you want one, I'm more than happy for that to happen, if you get me. So we made this decision end of 2019 that we were going to do it. So autumn internationals finished, and we started the process. I was quite nervous, so I was actually quite nervous when I told, like, the coaches.
Why did you have to tell the coaches to start with?
Well, I think because obviously your coach is still your line manager. I guess it's not the norm, which it should be the norm, but in this...
You need to make it the norm.
No, but I think it's not, as in for us. So actually, for me, like, I was a little bit nervous about it, but I think
Why? What were you nervous about? What were you... anxious about?
I don't know that maybe for me that my full focus wasn't back on rugby, it's on other stuff.
So
I
you
think
thought it might affect the way, the perception around it, because you're kind of focused on Tash carrying pregnancy, and that it might affect
what they thought I was doing at home, what I was putting into it.
So you might not be selected.
Yeah, I guess so. But then I think for me that was in my head. That was my concern.
Yeah.
Like I just think like it's that visual thing. If you see it and hear about it, then actually like it becomes more the norm. But people don't, and that's not just because they don't like it's. They don't think it's normal. It's actually just more people are private and that. I'm quite open about. I'm quite like. I wear my heart on my sleeve. What you see is what you get, and if you don't like it, then sorry, that's not my fault. Do you know what I mean? So, and I kind of see it for that, and it's like when it comes to Oliver, like being in a same-sex relationship and him having two mums, like we will never not tell him how we did it, or if he ever wants to like know about his father, that's something that we will always be open and honest. And like it's really weird, like. We led in bed yesterday and I said like someone very special like helped us make you, and it was just nice that we noted that because like the thing is, if it wasn't for that person, then Oliver wouldn't have been and wouldn't be able to give me and Tash so much love. And I think love wins over all of everything. And as long as he knows that, then I don't think it matters whether same-sex relationship or not.
Marlie, it's been a real joy to chat to you today. Thank you for being so open and honest, and just everything with a smile on your face, and all the very best of luck for the rest of the season, and best of luck to Tash as well.
Oh, thank you very much, Hugo.
Take
Cheers,
it easy.
boss.
Cheers.